Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, I have been under the weather for the last couple of days, but I don't know where I was that I missed this. This actually happened like over a week ago, like really like almost 2 weeks ago. Anyways, I don't know where I was that I missed it. But anyways, just last night, my brother had told me, he was like, oh, did you hear that, like, she was talking about, what she said, like, that she said, oh, y'all leave Beyonce alone, and I was like, for real, when did she say this? And he was like, oh, yeah, she said it, and I was like, man, and so, just this morning, I was like, looking through some videos, and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, wow, she really did say that. Like I said, I watched some videos so I can get some context for myself, and I've said this plenty of times, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, y'all know, like, if y'all seen any amount of my videos, y'all know how I am. Y'all know where I stand in these kinds of issues. And if you don't like it, y'all go somewhere else. But anyways, if you're going to be a gospel artist, you need to have a standard for holiness. Now, people have gotten out of hand with this mentality, with this thinking like, oh, like, you don't have to, like you can drink, you can smoke, you can swear, you can go to the club, you can do whatever you want. Like, if you want to sing gospel music, you can do all that and still sing gospel music. Listen, they do not care about your soul. Like, if they tell you that, they do not care about your soul. All right, I'm your friend. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm telling you, if they tell you that, they don't care about your soul. All right. First of all. Second of all, again, we've gotten out of hand with this thinking that you can just do anything and label yourself a gospel artist or label yourself saved. And it just does not work that way. And if you want to live like that, then you go somewhere and live like that. But don't encourage other people to do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so a lot of people were disappointed with her and mad at her for saying that, which rightfully so. She was wrong for saying that. Now, there was some people, someone in the comments of my previous video about this issue that was saying, because I'd said Don McClurkin had got on, and he was saying that maybe Twinkie didn't know that they used the song. And they were saying, but no, because after she had heard that, because I know after she found out, she must have listened to the song or found out who it was that was using the song, and she still should have said something because that's still not right. Like, I already talked about all that in that video. If you want to understand why, then go back and watch that video. And I had to come back and I was like, you know what? They're right, because even if she did not give them permission and they took the song without her knowing, she still should have said, I'm a gospel artist. Don't do business with secular artists that don't respect God, that don't respect the Bible. I don't want my name attached to a song that is like that, because there was a lot of, nudity in that song, which there always is. Like, if I was a gospel artist, I wouldn't want my work attached to that, especially if I'm trying to set a standard of holiness. So she still should have said something. And I agree with that, with the people who were saying that she still should have said something. And for her sister to double down and say, leave Beyonce alone, she was wrong for that too. And I just saw her preach, or heard her preach just a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to say where. But I just heard her preach, just a couple of weeks ago, somewhere. And I just actually heard Bishop Sheard preach just a few weeks ago. And so a lot of people were saying that he should have said something about that. But of course, that he's not going to, because that's her brother-in-law. But he should say something about it. And a lot of people are upset with him because he didn't say anything about it. And he should have, as the leader of the Kojic, he should have said something about it. He should have said, no, this is not something that we stand for as Christians, as, people who are trying to set a standard of holiness. Like, this is not, like, we don't get involved with these kind of people. This is not something that we do. We don't encourage this. But from what I've heard in the past, and over the years, this is not the first time that the Clark sisters have done something like this, allegedly, apparently. Now, like I said, I was looking through the various responses, and there was a video that was posted. Well, it was a short, not a video, but whatever, anyways, that I agreed with, that explained everything much better than I could. So just take a look at this.
Don't leave Beyonce alone. As long as she got something in there, that's all right. Amen. It's all about being in the center of His will.
If ever there was a time for a good mic snatch, this was that time. Nobody would have came for Beyonce if she hadn't named that song Church Girl, and then expected the church not to have no kind of response. Girl, bye. But I honestly think she was banking on a response from the church so that she could come across as some martyr. Just because Dorinda and Twinkie co-signed it doesn't mean the song is okay. At the end of the day, Church Girl is a religious song that preaches a different gospel. The gospel, according to Beyoncé, is that you can embrace a lifestyle of sin and God won't hold you accountable. But Jesus said in Matthew 16:24 that whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. Whoever loses their life for me will find it. What good is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Paul warned in Galatians 1 that anybody who preaches a false gospel is under God's curse. One day, Beyonce is going to have to stand before God and give an account for every idle word that she put in her music, and Dorinda and Twinkie are going to have to give an account for applauding her.
Now, I agree with everything she said in that video. And like I said, she explained it better than I ever could. And I don't understand why people think like it's acceptable for people to do this and they just want the whole church world to not say anything about it. And like too, they love to push the whole freedom of speech thing. The whole freedom of speech, I can say whatever I want to, but want everybody to shut up whenever they say or do something that they're not supposed to say or do. It doesn't work that way. Oh yeah, and another thing. So another response that I've seen or that I've heard happening in response to these kinds of situations, people say stuff like, "Oh well, y'all should be happy that she used one of y'all songs. Isn't that what y'all wanted? Like, didn't y'all want them to be more like y'all or whatever?" And I just think that that is one of the most incompetent and ignorant things to say, because those secular artists and their fan base, they do not care about those gospel artists. They do not care about gospel music. They do not care about God. It's all about business for them. If they use a sample from a gospel artist's song, it's because they found something in that song that they wanted to use in their song that they think is going to either get them more clout or more money. That's all that they're concerned about. But anyways, like I said, I agree with everything that young woman said in her video, and I'm glad that Bishop Wooten said what he said, because apparently he's one of the only people brave enough to say anything about it, other than a few people on the internet. But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comments below.